We have a couple of issues that are facing students today. One is the MAP grant funding, and the other is the funding that's coming into the college. I'm wondering if any of you, either of you, are aware of that situation, and if you are, what is your strategy also to bring about awareness to students that there is a problem, which many students don't know? I'd like to know more than just the social media aspect, because we know that social media is out there, but it really requires a plan of action. How would you execute that plan of action to make students aware that there's a problem, and also to mobilize students to have their voices be heard on a situation that actually involves them?
One of my concerns is tuition going to go up because of the lack of funding. Our class size is going to go up. Our teachers are going to get laid off. Moraine Valley is supposedly in good financial standings, but how long will that last, especially in this economic climate? So it's hard to condense it to 2 minutes. What would I do about that? What can the student trustee do? We don't really have a lot of power in terms of outsider persuasion, and that's something we have to be able to do. I've heard student trustees write letters to representatives within our governments. I think we need to know that we need to let students know that we're a major voting bloc within any type of government, state, local, federal. Students need to know they have a lot of collective power. And it's not just us as students, it's our families, our parents vote, our grandparents vote, our siblings vote. So we need to raise awareness about that. And I do think that this will be one of the prominent issues going forward. It's because it just, like I said, it's economic, it hits the pocket. So, I wish I could say more, but we're limited by time.
Alright, well, as far as the funding issue, I feel like it's a super significant piece of what we need to do to change school funding for the better. I actually sent an email to Bruce Rauner telling him to push the funding bill for these schools, because people may not think they're just not funding as much money, there won't really be a difference. But I have a friend who goes to EIU, and there's actually rumors, teachers have already been laid off, but there's rumors that it may even close, which would really hit home for them because they love the school. They want to go there for the rest of their, to earn their degree, but may not be able to. I feel like getting it more out there to push Rauner to pass the bill for funding would be super important, because what we could do, because we could do so much, just as a school to push him to pass the bill so we are actually able to get funded the amount of money that we require. Like some other thing, in Phi Theta Kappa, we were also discussing about how the bill hasn't been passed, how the school does, or not the school, the state doesn't even have a budget, and it hasn't for many months. And it's crazy that they still haven't been able to decide what they want to do exactly. So anything from social media, going on Twitter, tweeting the senators, governors, just making it a known issue that this is something that needs to be fixed, and this law or bill really needs to be passed, because it obviously benefits so many schools, and if it doesn't, it could really diminish the opportunity for many people to go to the schools or to finish at the schools that they're attending. So that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you.
And being a student trustee, one of the really important aspects is being involved in the Student Government Association. So I was curious how familiar you guys are with student government's accomplishments. I'm familiar how students were able to get their voice out with the help of this club. People were really able to make some changes. I know some people had issues with the buses that come to and from Moraine, from where they live, so they're able to get to the classes they need to. And from that, they were able to develop a schedule that benefits most of all students to really be able to get the extra transportation they need to really get to school.
Right, thank you, David.
Yeah, that bus schedule and how you guys have that now posted all around on the streets, the monitors around campus, that was a real accomplishment. Student government really plans a lot of the activities on school. They get things going on in the SMU building. Student government does a lot, and I don't think a lot of students really realize it. They do things from something as big as the bus schedules. They do things like scholarships, the book scholarship. and they just plan all the events. So I think we should get more students involved in student government because of just how much, that's like the key to getting things going on campus. It's a lot of accomplishments in terms of, just taking the collective power of students and just directing that, back into the school and getting things going. So.
Are either of you prepared to be really directly involved with student government? Like Kareem, for example, he's extremely involved in student government. He comes to the meetings, both the officer and the General Assembly meetings. He plans and he prepares, and he's really dedicated to the club. For instance, we have a meeting today, and are either of you prepared to have such a really involved kind of club involved on your schedule?
We'll start with David.
Well, I imagine so, considering I'm running for student trustee and it's part of the job. It's something I'm going to take very serious. Like I said, student government is the key to getting things through and getting more students involved. Because student government is the one it's the group that funds a lot of these activities that go on campus. And it's just, they have the collective power to get things going, like getting students organized and getting things set up, getting things planned. So yeah, I am ready to be involved with student government, and I'm looking forward to actually working with them. I'm sure I win.
A passion for learning just about as much as I can. I've grown to love school and just learn more about organizations, clubs, how stuff runs. And one thing that and when I noticed that that they're electing a student trustee, when I found out, I'm just wow, well, this is something I could learn about. At the time, I didn't really know much about it, but I saw the flyers, I got emails, and I'm just oh, this is something that I feel will interest me. So I looked into it. I was able to learn more that what happens and what goes on in student government. And through that, I kind of gained so much knowledge from that alone, just getting from just wanting to learn more about how things run. So after becoming a candidate, I looked more into what goes on and everything, and I felt like I really wanted to make a difference to our school, and I feel like student government would be a perfect opportunity to.
Thank you. With that being said, trustee comes from the word trust. So when you vote, please make sure you vote for someone who deserves your trust and will represent you adequately and sufficiently. Not only that, but advocate on your behalf. On behalf of SGA, thank you for joining us in today's debate. And so good luck to all of you, and we look forward to see who's the next student trustee. Thank you.